Hello and welcome to this week's newscast from Power Engineering International. I'm Kelvin Ross. In this week's headlines, a new report reveals that in 2014 more than half of the European Union's electricity generation came from low-carbon sources. Germany is working on a blueprint to phase out coal from its power mix by 2050, and a 100 megawatt gas-fired plant has been successfully commissioned in Mozambique. A new report reveals that 56% of electricity generation in the EU came from low-carbon sources in 2014. The study from electricity trade group Eurelectric highlights the change in energy mix across Europe and shows a rise in the use of renewables against a drop in fossil fuel generation. The data shows that in 2014, total power generation in the EU was 3,025 terawatt-hours, a 3% drop from 2013. 27% was generated from nuclear, 42% from fossil fuels and 28% from renewables. Renewable power generation increased by 38 terawatt-hours from 2013 to 2014, while fossil fuel generation decreased by 121 terawatt-hours over the same period. The total share of renewable installed capacity increased from 33% in 2012 to 37% in 2014, with wind and solar growing at the fastest rate. The share of wind and solar power comprised more than 20% of the power mix in Denmark, Spain, Portugal and Ireland. On power demand, Eurelectric found that most countries experienced a decrease in electricity consumption in 2014, with the biggest drop being seen in the Netherlands, France, Luxembourg, the UK and Switzerland. The report also highlighted that despite continuing economic conditions, power companies are still committed to investing in research and development. In 2014, the total R&D expenditure of 13 major European utilities reached $1.5 billion. Germany's Environment Minister Barbara Hendricks has revealed that the government is working out a plan aimed at removing coal from its power mix by 2050. The government is talking to industry groups and trade unions as it starts work on a climate action plan set to be launched next summer. Hendricks said that it was completely clear that Germany needed to exit fossil fuel energy sources by the middle of the century. Germany's dependency on coal is seen as a contradictory phenomenon, as so much of the country's energy policy has been based on the growth of renewables. 1/4 of Germany's electricity was produced by wind and solar in 2014, but the phasing out of nuclear power saw an increase in the reliance on coal plants to bridge the gap. The coal sector accounted for around 44% of electricity generated in Germany in 2014. Mozambique's Rosano Garcia gas-fired power plant has been successfully commissioned. The 100 megawatt plant has come online after testing was completed last week, said its operator Gigawatt Mozambique. The plant is located near the South African border and runs on generator sets comprising 13 Rolls-Royce engines and ABB generators. The plant is expected to supply around 12% of Mozambique's total power demand, and its electricity will be purchased by state-owned utility EDM under a long-term power purchase agreement. A second phase of the plant, which will increase its capacity to 250 megawatts, is expected to come online within the next 36 months. That's all for this week. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again soon.